What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Friday morning edition of The Squeeze. I am your host, Tyler Conium. Friday. I said this yesterday. It's already Thursday, and today it's already Friday. And I guess time flies when you're having fun and you're winning bets. 3-0 day yesterday on The Squeeze, which is very exciting. Always great when we can have a great day. Boston Bruins, they won again. I recommended even betting the puck line on that. If you did, it was like plus 258. We just went with the minus 105 money line. You get a 36-5 team that you get for essentially even money. Toronto Maple Leafs, Winnipeg Jets come in on the under. And we also had the Chicago Bulls -6 in the Paris game, which was a fun time as well. I actually went into the evenings. Those are the three bets from here. I posted a bunch of other ones on Twitter as well. And when I went to bed, I was 6-0 and woke up 6-4. Such is life. Such is the way it goes here on The Squeeze. So 3-0 night, up 2.8 units on the night. We're back up a unit for the week. And on the year, we're 29-18 here on The Squeeze. So that is good news. Obviously, if you like what you see, if you like the bets, hitting the subscribe button down in the corner there would be helpful so we can grow this channel and grow this podcast. 3 bets today. They're all in the NBA. I do have a suggestion for the for the NHL, where we've done our best, but there's only 2 games today, so I don't love that. Today's actually a difficult card. I was really poring over this last night, trying to figure out what we wanted to do today. It's always difficult, when there's not a ton of games, and then I'm not a big fan of when the games are, like super lopsided. Like you've got Memphis against the Lakers, stuff like that. It's hard, right? Like to bet a -8 spread is difficult. I kind of like staying around the even money. It's just, it gives you better value. I don't necessarily like that word, but it does. So we will start in the NBA. I'm going to start in Orlando. The New Orleans Pelicans are visiting the Orlando Magic. This line has changed by 2 points. So the over-under was set at 226.5 last night at DraftKings. It's since gone to 228.5, so keep that in mind. Shop around for that. But I like the over on this. 226.5 is a low number. New Orleans 26-19, Orlando 16-28. To the over this season, New Orleans is 26-19, and Orlando is 23-21. Now you might say, well, the Pelicans are without Zion, they're without Ingram. Who's going to score? And I'll tell you, true. But who's going to stop Orlando, right? This is going to be a game that's probably not going to have a ton of defense. And regardless, Pelicans are 11-2 to the over in their last 13 games following an ATS loss. Over is 5-1 in the Pelicans' last 6 games versus a team with a losing record. So they're scoring a lot of points and they're getting scored on quite a bit. When you look at Orlando, the over is 7-1 in their last 8 games following an ATS win. Over is 5-1 in their last 6 home games, and over is 5-1 in their last 6 versus a team with a losing road record. Against each other, the over is 5-1 in their last 6 meetings. So I expect this team to have not a lot of defense. It might be sloppy, but a lot of threes. And 226.5 is a low number, right? Like 112, 115, 113 is going to get us there. And there's a reason that the line is moving up to 228. So I'm going to take the Pelicans and the Magic over 226.5. That's -110 at DraftKings. Over to Dallas and the Miami Heat. Now, this is if you're going to fade one of these, this is the one I would recommend fading, because I've had brutal luck betting on the Dallas Mavericks this season. I've bet 2 units on them in one game to win back 1 unit. That lost. Every time I seem to bet on them, they lose. But I'm taking them here on the money line. It's -105 at DraftKings. They're at home to the Miami Heat. Miami comes into this one 25-21. Dallas is 24-22. The Heat are 11-2 on the road, and Dallas, despite their 24-22 record overall, are 16-7 at home. So they've played very well at American Airlines Center. Last time these teams met was February of last season. Dallas won 107-99. When you go back to 2021, Miami won that one, 125-110, the last meeting of that season. But Dallas won the other 2, won 127-113 and 193-83. The Heat are 0-6 ATS in their last 6 games following a win of more than 10 points. Sorry, I got my words all jumbled. Too much tea this early in the morning. For the Dallas Mavericks, the over is 6-1 in their last 7 home games, so they're scoring a lot of points at home. When you look at the injuries, Haslam, it's crazy that Haslam's even still on a team. Jovic is out, so this is going to come down to essentially Jimmy Butler versus Luka Doncic. I'm going to take Doncic in this matchup. I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks at home on a pick'em. this is a coin flip to me. So if you want to fade or follow, go ahead on this one. But it's just one of the matchups that I liked because the slate's just not that great today. So minus 105, Dallas Mavericks money line at DraftKings for minus 110. And the last bet of the day is a 2-team parlay. So I was going back and forth. I was looking at the NHL and I was considering doing the Vancouver Canucks are the best team in the league to the first period over. Okay, so there's a lot of goals scored in the first period of Vancouver Canucks game, but the over 1.5 is juiced minus 170, minus 180. It's tough. I'm not going to pay that for that. At Proline Plus and at North Star Bets, they do have it at 2, and that's at plus 110. So you could take over 2, and the likelihood of a push is, of course, there, but you're getting the odds of plus money versus the 105 where you might win that bet, but you're paying a ton of juice if you don't. So that's something I might consider for later on today, taking it at 2. But that was the NHL bet that I was considering. I don't really like anything else there. So the 2-team parlay I'm going with in the NBA is the Memphis Grizzlies and the Cleveland Cavaliers, both on the money line. It comes out to a minus 116 parlay at BetMGM, and instead of paying the juice, the 1.16 units, I'm just paying one flat unit to win back about 0.8 units. I'm not going to pay the juice on it. But when you think about the Cavaliers and the Warriors, so Cavs are 28-18. They're 19-4 at home. This game is in Cleveland. Golden State comes into this 22-23. They're 5-18 on the road. They just lost to Boston last night in overtime, 121-118. I don't even know who's going to play in this game for Golden State necessarily. That was a big, big game for them last night on the road in Boston to lose it in overtime. Let's have a look at the minutes that were logged here. So you're looking at Draymond 37 minutes, Wiggins 39, Klay Thompson 36, Poole 43, Curry 43, and Thompson hasn't played a ton this season. Curry's just coming off an injury. Wiggins is just coming off an injury. I don't think that all of their players are going to be playing tonight at Cleveland, and Cleveland's a good basketball team. They're 19-4 at home. So based sort of on that alone, I do like the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game. They are 3-0-1 ATS in their last 4 games following a loss, so they're bouncing back quite well. Golden State has historically been fairly dominant against Cleveland, but much different Cleveland team this season over than their last 7 meetings, which would date back, 3 or 4 years when Golden State was winning all their titles. They're going to be without Jonathan Kuminga. He's out with injury. Wiseman is out. So, and again, I don't know who's going to be in the full lineup or play full minutes for Golden State. So I like the Cavaliers on the money line there. And then the other one is the Memphis Grizzlies. They're at the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Lakers, they had a bit of a run there where they were doing okay, but then lately they have lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've lost to Sacramento. They beat Houston. They lost to Philly. They lost to Dallas. They lost to Denver. And look, the Memphis Grizzlies are 31-13. They're one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Although they are only 11-10 on the road, the Lakers are only 11-11 at home. When you look at the head-to-head matchups, they last played just not 11 days ago. Memphis won that one 127-119. Going back to last season, Memphis has won 3 straight matchups against the Los Angeles Lakers. I do look for that to continue. Anthony Davis is still out, of course. LeBron James is questionable with the ankle injury, which he's likely going to be this entire season. So I think the Memphis Grizzlies get it done on the money line. I don't like the spread of -7, -8. It's tough to take that on a road team despite how good they are. So let's just keep it simple. Stick with money lines. We have a bit of an easier Friday today. We're not going to get fancy. We've got a big weekend of football and a lot of other things going on. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the New York Giants bet, so we will keep that in mind, and we'll have to figure that out by tomorrow. So we shall see. To run back down this card for you, I like the New Orleans Pelicans and the Orlando Magic to go over 226.5 or -110 at DraftKings. I like the Dallas Mavericks on the money line -105 at DraftKings, and I like a 2-team parlay, Cleveland Cavaliers and Memphis Grizzlies for a -116 parlay at BetMGM. Feel free to drop a comment if you're fading or following. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connie for more picks and props throughout the day. Audio versions available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Have a great Friday. Let's just talk sports.